of the 15 have finished Cap 1 and Cap 2.
Well, praise the Lord for that.
There's 6 that will, Kathy, there's 6 you'll be praying over really hard.
Looking forward to it.
But they're wonderful. I mean, they are wonderful people. They're just, you know, challenging.
It's an
Okay,
opportunity.
On a happy note, before we get started, I'm going to be a grandma.
Oh,
Congratulations.
So happy.
oh, how exciting.
Ellie and Jay are going to have a baby. It'll be here about Christmas or before Christmas, the end of November.
Awesome.
And John Doc, my son, graduates next week from Chapel Hill Dental School. So we got a lot to celebrate in this house.
We do.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
I'm excited.
That's fun.
That's good. That's good. I hope
Good
everybody's doing
news.
well.
You too.
A moment of silence and prayer for Dr. Cindy McKinney. Cindy passed away unexpectedly, I guess Wednesday. I think her celebration of life was yesterday. I know Dr. Sanders, Anita, and her were close, and I served on a couple committees with Dr. McKinney and did some other things, and so she'll be missed. She was a fine person, and I hate that. And so, Dr. Sanders, you have anything you'd like to add?
Oh, you did a good job.
Well, we'll remember her in our prayers. I know she'll hear them in heaven, because that's where she is. She's a fine person. I always enjoyed my time with her. Looking at we need to be, of course, that is a positive. She's gone home to her reward, so that is a positive thing. So that's not a down note. Dr. Caton, are you with us? Do you need the resource book and the law book? You need those too?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll get you those. I don't think anybody else needs books for the summer. I think everybody else has them, and that leads me into, let me share my screen, looking at the latest.
The one book that Steve put up, we had it online last year. I don't have that book. Steve, the newest one, Steve?
North House.
Yeah, that's it. I don't have access to that.
Is it only for a year that you have access, Danny?
I don't know. Whatever you send, if you'll send me whatever it is, I'll look again, but I don't, wherever it is, it's gone and died and gone to heaven somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go back and look and see the email I sent you. When was it? Do you have an idea?
It was last summer.
Got it. All right, I'll work on that.
All right,
Okay,
so yeah,
thanks,
the
Steve.
North House book.
Yeah.
Now, some of these desk copies expire if they're virtual, and then they won't send hard copies on and on. They have a limit on those, and so I did. So I bought a couple books, and then I ran a couple down. So I've got some for you, Sheena. So that'll be helpful. Amazon delivered today, so I got a couple of these that I got, but we should be good. So on the screen is our schedule for the summer. We'll have Tobias Whitaker and Zion Barnes talent on the 603 add-on team. Malia and Kelly on 602. Sanders, Stedman, Merle, and Todd on 605 this summer add-on. Barnes will be working with Sanders as well as with Revis. Revis will be working with Stedman, and then Sumner, Bullis, and Bullis. Then Sheena and Ann will be working with me, and Joey will be working with Steve. I was going to shout out Joey. I got a lot of good comments. Of course, the on-cycle groups this summer that we're graduating are our regular master students who had Joey much of that time, and they were very complimentary. Of course, I've got a wonderful email about Dr. Tobias and Dr. Barnes from, I think maybe Whitney sent that one, was very excited. So I've gotten a lot of good feedback. The one on Dr. Barnes and Dr. Tobias was just unsolicited. They just said, you know, what a great time they'd had this semester. And then on our exit survey, that those comments have been very kind. And then on our exit in task stream, we were 100% said that they would do it again and love the program on that exit. And then I've had a lot of comments about, like with Joey, and all of you have touched on, all of you pretty much in the reflection. So knock wood, I haven't had any, not even one negative comment. They're really, really happy, excited. I've gotten calls. I've been getting a lot of calls, word of mouth calls. People heard what wonderful things. I got 2 of those today. And so that's gone extremely well. And so I want us to take a second to celebrate that, but also to look at this list. These are the people, our CERT to MELS people that are graduating with masters. That would be Kathy Andrews and Christina Campbell and Kareem and Melissa McDowell and Rachel Miller and Kim Swanson. Now we're off cycle on Brian Schaffer. He is not on the graduating list, and so I called him. Luann said she'd check to find out why. And then Edie Murray looks like he is going to complete, Steve. He's gotten a lot of work in. He got his folio in yesterday. He's certification off cycle, but it looks like we've got about 31 master students who this cycle, and 1 off cycle. And then we've got another one, Dawn, who will not finish off cycle cert, that won't finish this time, but all these will. And that leads me into Friday night is just the general session. There won't be anything for MELS on Friday night. It'll just be the ceremony. They'll just come in and they'll be there. But now our day is Saturday. The parents and kids and all that, they'll open the gate at 11 o'clock and start letting them in as the group in front of us processes out. We'll start hopefully they'll get in and get seated in that 30 minutes, and then we'll start processing in at 11:30. We'll have a short program. Our students will have I'll call all their names. They'll cross the stage. I don't know how many besides the 30 that were 31 from this semester. You know, the last 3 semesters, those master's candidates can come as well. And so we'll see how many of those come. And then we'll call their names, and then we'll meet at the tent across the street over at one of the practice fields for our reception, where we'll do picture taking and have refreshments. But we'll have to knock off about 1 o'clock. We go from 11:30 to 1. Then we'll have to process out, and our folks will have to leave with us. And so that, because at 1 o'clock they'll open the gate for the business school people to come in, and so our folks will have to leave as they come in. This is all, I guess, in order to keep the capacity of the stadium down. So if you have any students that get in touch with you, again, you want to pass on that their families won't be allowed in the stadium until 11 a.m. They're supposed to open the gate, and they will have to leave promptly at 1 to come. And when we proceed out, they'll have to proceed out as well, so that, and then they'll meet us across the University Drive, the road there. They'll meet across it at the practice. They'll have a tent with a big marker for School of Ed, but we'll all be there. So I think that's kind of how that goes. I'm concerned that we won't have time to call everybody's name, but we'll do the best we can. I'm concerned about that. We're going to meet about that again Wednesday this week. It takes a lot longer to do that than you think it does. At last count, we had 130 that we knew were going to come, but that doesn't mean that they can still come. There's no RSVP. There's no tickets for Saturday. What I'm afraid of is about 50 that we weren't planning on is going to show up on Saturday, since they didn't have to get tickets or RSVP. And so the very notion that we won't have but 130, I'm afraid that might not be true, because we've got 30 ourselves this time. And then if you look back over the last 3 semesters, we probably got another 100 waiting in the wings. I mean, we could have 30. And we got all the School of Ed. Now, part of the good news, I guess it's good news, but Luann said that 13 of the doctoral students from the School of Ed that are coming Friday night have said they weren't coming on Saturday, but they're not obligated on that. They can come Saturday if they want to. You only have to RSVP and get tickets for Friday. You don't have to do that for Saturday. So I'm suspecting we'll have a lot more show up than we're planned for. And it takes a while to call their name and get them across the stage. And so, but that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday. So that's kind of how that's going to go. We've got a program. The program is too long. We're going to have to cut the program on Wednesday. But I told them that up front, but why would they listen to me? I mean, you know, it's not like I've been a high school principal that did outdoor graduations before or anything like that. I mean, I'm just shooting from the hip here. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. What's next? Anybody have anything else? Grades will be due here soon. Sarah had one today. Excellent job on the notion that, again, if they get incompletes, we're not going to let them take the next class. If they get a 603 incomplete, they're not taking 605 this summer. That's just setting them up for failure. Sometimes you have to protect them from themselves. If they couldn't get that little bit done 603 in 16 weeks, I don't think they're going to get that plus what they got to be doing in 10 weeks this summer plus 605. That's not going to happen. Now, they need to be reminded that if they finish their coursework, they got to go to 699. 699 is 3 credit hours plus fees. That's a $2,000 decision. So, you know, we if they take that course and just keep on in 699 and incompletes, it's going to cost them a lot of money. So if they're not going to get through your class this time, and they get an incomplete, they're not taking the next class this summer. That's, you know, my arm could be twisted in the fall or the spring, but definitely not the summer.
Gail, with the 601 add-on, I think, Robin, we've gotten all of our students in all 3 groups completely through. It looks like their task stream work is going to be, Robin, I don't know about on your end. I know you've been monitoring that, but I know on our end, by this week, even the one who lost her husband, she will have everything to me by the end of this week. And they're going to go into 603 completely. I mean, nothing will be left from 601 for them. Robin, I know you've been looking at yours.
Right. And that's the way it is with us. And Jamal has a few that he's still working with to finish everything up. But other than that, in task stream, but as far as Blackboard, everybody's done.
Yeah, but by the time they get to you for 603, even the other things that are lagging, they should be through with that. So there shouldn't be anything at all in 601 that they have to even look back at it all.
Right. That's great. That's what we need to happen. We need for these folks to be done. I think we had one with COVID and one with a miscarriage this time. I think they're in our section. I think they're both going to make it as well. So hold out as long as you can before you turn in the grades. Again, it's better. You know, the evidence is you know, we got to have those, but all the other work, just take a few points off and move them on. You know, don't do incompletes over classwork. If they've got their evidence work in, move them on. You know, and give them as much grace as you can. But
well, Dale, it was not without sacrifice. I honestly, I had 2 hairs left, and I don't have those 2 hairs anymore. Yeah. So, you know, there was sacrifice with all that. Mm-hmm. I lost my 2
I know
hairs.
it's hard. You got to keep up with them. It's hard. I know. I know it's been tough, and we're doing a lot of Zooms and a lot of phone calls and a lot of, that here, and I know everybody is. And so I appreciate
Yeah.
that. It's been, this semester has been more stressful than the others in terms of COVID and all the things going on.
It has been.
And I don't anticipate that summer's going to get a lot better. I hate to say that, but I think summer's going to be stressful just as well. We're going to have these same issues. That's why I just can't see, if they haven't finished their evidences from the spring, that we just can't let them go on to their next course. I know they want to, but the thing is unless it's something that I'm just not aware of, they've got an extra semester, both masters and add-on their financial aid. Let me say that again. Their financial aid goes 6 semesters for masters and 4 for the add-on. So they need to be reminded that if we only put you in your internship this summer to let you catch up, they'll only charge you 1 or 2 credit hours. And then later on, when you take your course, we won't charge you for those. If you get your work done, we won't have to charge you for those. But if you have to, and you get an extra semester, but if we have to put you in $699, if you finish your, if you finish 605, whether you got there through 1, 3, and 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when you finish 605, if you haven't completed your portfolio, we're going to have to charge you $2,000 for $699. And so, and that's their financial aid will go an extra semester, and they'll be better off to do it that way, take an extra semester, than say I can finish and then not. That's a big gamble. And then have to pay that big lump at the end. That won't go well for them. And so, and usually most financial aid, you have to pay that out of your pocket. That's not one of the standard courses in the sequence. So they need to be reminded of that as well, that if they have to take $699, more than likely their financial aid's not going to cover it. So these are decisions they need to understand up front, that we're trying to look out for them and not cost them a whole bunch of money and put them in a situation where they can't be successful. They'll scream and yell, and I can do it. I know I can. Well, and they might be able to, but it's, the probability is low on those. And it's a pretty heavy financial mistake to make if they get it wrong. And so I don't want them, we have a lot of students who, it's kind of aggravating this semester. We had a good many students who finished the add-on program in the past, but didn't apply for their license right away. And then wanted to know what the information, well, it's the same as it was the semester that we worked with you when you graduated. Why didn't you go ahead and apply for your license then? Well, I didn't get around. Well, they couldn't pay their bill. And so they couldn't get their transcript. That was the deal. They couldn't get their transcript because that's the first thing you have to have with licensure. So what I'm beginning to find out, for the last 2 or 3 semesters, we've had it's been a lot worse than we even knew. I'm just finding out now that a lot of these folks, owing bills to the university, couldn't afford the licensure fees, a lot of that. That stuff is kind of catching up with us now, in that I had several this time that, I have one, I've had 2 or 3 from the spring. I had one from last summer who has not applied yet for her licensure, and several from the fall. They couldn't afford to pay their bill at Gardner Webb to get their transcript. So things have been a lot rougher than we even realized at the time, in terms of their finances and where they are financially. So that has really come home to me this week, that we really need to advise them. Don't enter into any more debt than you have to. Don't run up a $2,000 bill that you don't have to, and that your financial aid probably won't pay. Because until you pay that, you won't be able to get your transcript and get your license. So it's kind of keep them from harming themselves, kind of thing. All right, what else have we got? We've had a good semester though. I mean, the students have worked hard. It's just been really tough. Their financial and personal lives have been tough, but y'all have done a great job because all the feedback has been the best ever. I mean, the feedback has just been tremendous on exit surveys and on reflection surveys and everything. I'm expecting really good SOIs this semester. We had a couple of blips along the way, but we fixed those and moved on. And so it's been good. And you remember, you know, if we can keep them happy and keep them and add value and keep them coming back again, word of mouth is, we're not doing, our recruiters can't do a lot yet or aren't doing a lot yet. And so it's kind of depending upon the quality of the program. It has to kind of push us through right now, but it's doing well. The preliminary numbers look really good, and then they look good. Now they're, you know, they don't seem to be moving a whole lot. They're just kind of, but now KTA is given the excuse that it's the end of the school year. I don't think that's the excuse. They looked good initially, but they really haven't. They haven't continued on in that same ratio. They've kind of slowed, and I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. Is they are going to slow because COVID, the fatigue, and the money and is all catching up with us now. Sickness, Japan, India. Thailand's closed again. I mean, it's coming back around. It'll slingshot back around the world. I noticed yesterday the numbers are red in North Carolina again, which means they're growing again in North Carolina. But we now have a lot of folks who won't get their vaccine for a number of ridiculous reasons, and so we're not making a lot of headway on that 70 to 90% for herd immunity. So I will expect that we'll continue to have both students and spouses and parents and children of students with COVID this summer. It will not stop. It will not. It won't just quit because we want it to. So, you know, we need to set ourselves up for our best way to be successful. But we'll get rolling on May 17th. Classes start again. It's up to you if you want to do a 10-week or 11. If you do 11-week, you can take the week of the 4th off. I sent out that example. I will send out a copy of the schedule that I've shown, but I have all your shells done. I guess you've noticed that all your shells I have copied over and made them all ready for summer. You can go in and customize them now. They are prepared. Ready to go. We're staying up in task stream, and thanks to Rod and all the people and Phyllis, everybody that's grading in task stream, Cindy, we're keeping up. We're not behind on it, you know, with thousands to do. Task stream has been paced really well this semester, so it's caught up. It's doing well. So, you know, I mean, you know, organizationally, operationally, we're doing real well. It's just, you know, my heart hurts for all the people who, what folks are having to live through right now. Other than that, everything, I couldn't ask for better organizationally, operationally, things are really good. Just pray for our numbers for the fall that they actually pick up and look better. Anybody else have anything for the good of the group? Keep you all evening. Again, prayers for Cindy McKinney, fine lady. Prayers for all of you and your families. Hope things go well. Again, I hope to see some of you on Saturday. Again, I probably wouldn't come if I were y'all. I don't believe there will be any social distancing, or it won't be safe. I'll just tell you, it won't be safe. There's no way. There's too many people and to find a space, and there's too many folks that won't have masks on, and we won't have anybody there enforcing that or distancing or any of that. And so if you, I wouldn't come if I were you. I'm coming Saturday. I am not coming Friday. I'm got program coordinator and DEOL to hood my doctoral student. I'm not coming Friday because it's free for all. And I've got a more important thing to do is take care of my wife. I got to take her to the doctor. So I'm not coming Friday. I'll take the risk on Saturday because I have to. But if I were you folks, you know, it's up to you. But it's not going to be safe. just tell you that now. So, we will meet again next week to get ready make sure that we're ready for summer school, because the following week, the summer school starts. So we'll meet, and anything that I need to share with you or anything you need to share with me. But hopefully shelves will be available earlier in the day, next Monday, a week from today. If they're not, we'll know it by then, and we'll need to see where we need to be. So we'll break our pattern of every other week, and we'll meet next week to get ready. And then we'll probably meet the following week, to kick the summer off, and then we'll go back to our regular every other. So we'll meet the next couple of weeks. I don't have anything else. My time is up. I appreciate your time and attention. If anybody has anything, just jump right in. If not, I will see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.